title of this webinar is called UniFi, Building the Future of IT. And just to get started, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jamie. I work for Ubiquiti as the training director. I run the training program, and I had the privilege of being out in Asia and the South Pacific recently to get certified. A bunch of our trainers and partners out there, including Alex. And a little bit more background about me. I came to Ubiquiti about 13 years ago, right when UniFi was just starting out as a little bit more than a wireless AP and a software controller. Um, that's antiquated terminology. It's really grown and changed since then, especially since 2019 when we launched our first cloud gateway devices. So for this presentation today, I'd really like to fill in the gaps in everybody's knowledge and also help illustrate where the direction of UniFi is going forward. So to get started, um, we've branded UniFi here as the complete next-gen IT solution. And really since the first cloud gateways emerged in 2019, when we started to see entire applications bundled into our hardware appliance, that all-in-one security gateway with firewall, we really saw UniFi take a sharp turn into many different directions with lots of different verticals being supported. So obviously we're a leader in wireless products. That will be something that we always aspire to be. And we were the first this year to bring Wi-Fi 7 APs to the market in mass. Um, they're selling great. I believe in Australia, they're also under consideration for extending the 6 gigahertz band. But really what we want to talk about today, and we can figure out maybe for a future webinar to get deep into Wi-Fi, is why UniFi is changing the face of businesses. And it really comes back to those all-in-one appliances, those cloud gateways, our console devices, which run all the applications to manage all of the hardware in the modern uh, enterprise. So gateways, security, surveillance, physical security, door access, integrating all of these pieces of the modern business is quite an important piece of the UniFi story today. But it's so much more than that as well. Voice over IP, audio, video, digital signage, our screens, our AV devices. We just launched as well the UniFi Play products, our first uh, power amplifier, as well as EV charging for vehicles. So as you can see, there's lots of technologies, and there has to be a central way to manage all of this. And our proposition here is the Site Manager. The UniFi Site Manager is a free central management platform for anybody that is using standalone UniFi software installations. You know that you can use the Site Manager to host all of your UniFi sites all around the world with absolutely zero licensing. And it's really more than just a user interface where you come to manage your sites. It's becoming a place where you can do configurations, run updates, add and onboard admins, and there will be a lot more things that we're adding as we go forward. So I highly encourage everybody who has not yet to go to the releases section of our community and subscribe to updates for the Site Manager so that you receive software updates about the Site Manager. Just in the last couple of weeks, we've added a few very cool features that I'll touch on today toward the end near the demo time. So the Site Manager, like I said, is a license-free, flexible management platform. And the architecture we've provided is a way for you to support your sites in any number of configurations. In order to get the full stack or the full experience of UniFi, what you need is one of our hardware consoles. The cloud gateways are the best type of that device because it combines all of the firewall, all of the applications, all of the routing features into a single product. Here you can see the Dream Machine Pro Max with 2 hard drive bays. But you can manage other cloud consoles here as well. Many of you are probably familiar with the cloud keys um, and your software sites as well. UniFi hosting, official hosting, we take out all the difficulty of spinning up, configuring, and putting together your server. Um, we handle all the virtualization in the cloud. But for anybody that's doing self-hosting or uses a third party, all you really need is just a UI account, and you'll link all of your sites to your site manager. So I mentioned in the previous slide full stack UniFi, and what full stack refers to is the entire software experience on these UniFi devices at your sites. So, and for those of you who are running the unified network software standalone, you're really missing out on the biggest benefits of UniFi today, which is integration and streamlined management between all the applications. We're talking about door access for physical security, as well as cameras for physical security. Voice over IP, telephony, being able to assign phones to users. Um, Also, digital signage. I travel a lot to some different countries, and I'm constantly seeing ways that UniFi is checking boxes and making lives for IT managers in particular, but also integrators and installers so much easier through the solutions that we offer. So full stack UniFi, you can see here the dashboard for the network application, also the protect application. Everything is streamlined under a single dashboard interface, which makes it really easy to assign to a door whenever somebody opens up the door. They've unlocked it. You're able to immediately pair a camera with that so that you can start recording. And it's very important to us that you have security. Your data is your data, sensitive privacy. So cloud gateways are a way for you to keep all of your user data and site data locally stored, and we don't get involved in any of that. The site manager is just a way for you to remotely access your sites from anywhere that you have internet connectivity. I also mentioned the other applications, the UniFi Talk application. We recently added some updates here so that third-party SIP providers could also be supported. So you can buy our phones and start using your providers globally in every market. We also just added to our UniFi Talk mobile app the ability to use a soft phone for people who are mobilely working. And another feature that I'll talk about in just a little bit is the UniFi Identity software for more of those hybrid work scenarios. The last application I want to talk about here, built into these cloud gateways, is the UniFi Connect application, and this one's really interesting because many people, we take it for granted the fact that there are an numerous amount of media, digital media signs and televisions and smart devices out there that have to be managed somehow. And UniFi makes this really, really easy by hosting your media files on one of these cloud gateways. And rather than sending somebody out with a new SD card to go change out all those TVs, you're really all you have to do is update it centrally from the site manager, which connects you to your cloud gateway. So for all these applications you see, we make incredible mobile apps as well. Our mobile apps are incredibly powerful, and they let you do most of these features from the palm of your hand. So I highly recommend everybody make sure to download those apps if you're not already using them. The last piece of software that's not built into the dashboards per se, but is built into every UniFi console device is called the UniFi Identity software. And identity has emerged, kind of an interesting story here, around the time that COVID was happening, when people were starting to work from home and couldn't go into the office. Well, this is about the time that UniFi Identity emerged onto the market with great timing. A lot of Ubiquiti employees were having to use the VPN to get into the local network and share resources. But there's so much more you can do here. And really, what identity is designed for is simplifying the life of the IT manager who already has tons of things to do, and also making employee onboarding much, much easier. So say that you're a new employee, today's your first day, you are working in the warehouse, and you need permission to all the doors in the front office, but also in the warehouse where you'll be. Um, with UniFi Identity, it streamlines the permissions that you grant to somebody so that the specific devices that are running and managed on your site can all be shared individually or by groups according to the permissions you set as the IT manager. So EV station support is built in, help desk for submitting tickets. Lots of things not shown here, but the main ones you can see in this mobile app here. And I will also mention for any of you who are not already using this, all you have to do is go into your cloud gateway device and literally just open up the admins and users tab, and you'll see the identity dashboard there where you can start configuring your one-click Wi-Fi, start adding doors for users, and very quickly upload a CSV file or individually add users. And then we have integrations for Office 365, Google Directory, Active Directory, LDAP. So Identity is very powerful software. It's free built into the cloud gateways and cloud consoles, and just makes it just another attractive reason to uh, use UniFi whenever you're building any new network or retrofitting any existing network. So I've mentioned a couple times full stack, and I just want to reiterate the difference between full stack and partial stack. One of our training courses, in fact, is called the UniFi Full Stack Professional class because, again, it really focuses on what are all the features. We give each student a cloud gateway to start configuring and building their network, and they wrap up the training course by setting up their UniFi identity experience. And so full stack, it just requires a cloud console for all of the features, including routing, firewall. You really need one of these cloud gateways, not just an NVR or a cloud key, which obviously support the applications natively. But for a partial stack experience where you're only able to manage network devices, you can always use our free standalone software, as well as the UniFi official cloud hosting platform that we mentioned earlier. But again, regardless of your site requirements, regardless of your customer sites, all of these can be managed centrally and free on the UniFi Site Manager. So the cloud gateways that I've been discussing here are really plug and play site management. They all feature Bluetooth built into the hardware. You literally open up the UniFi app and it will discover when it's in range, and in like 30 seconds you can start configuring these devices. We actually just launched a brand new training course where that really targets kind of the educational sector where maybe students don't have laptops, but virtually everybody has a smartphone. And so people are kind of shocked when they can literally in like 3 or 4 hours go through 10, 12 different lab activities configuring an entire network with just a few clicks. But in like 30 seconds, they get everything set up just using their mobile device. So that's a pretty cool training course. And I'm not sure if our teams in Australia have started launching that class, but I really hope to see that one getting launched pretty soon because it's a very attractive course. In one half of a day, you can get your certification. And then go back to work and say, wow, like these cloud gateways are the real thing. So yeah, that class is called the UniFi Network Professional, and it takes labs from all of our UniFi courses, routing, switching, cybersecurity, Wi-Fi. It really does everything, the full stack training. And then just to wrap up this slide here, with virtually any type of site that you need, we have a cloud gateway that will meet the needs of your users. For your high density deployments, stadiums, venues with a large number of users or a high amount of data that you're pushing, we just recently announced our EFG product, and that's been hitting the channels just for about the last month, 2 months now. Um, and yeah, this is an incredibly powerful device. It has all the features and bells and whistles you're looking for on a true enterprise product. Dual hot swap power supplies for power redundancy, true high availability. That also applies to the Dream Machine Pro Max. the Pro SE, as well as just the standard Pro, through our proprietary implementation of virtual router redundancy protocol. We call that the shadow mode. And a couple of other cloud gateways to mention here. The Dream Wall, this kind of just sits on the wall of the customer sites. So it's uh, for sites that don't have a rack per se. And it has integrated Wi-Fi built into it and a 16-port switch with 12 ports of varying levels of PoE plus, and it runs all the UniFi applications. The UniFi Max also runs all the applications. It's a brand new cloud gateway that we came out with, but kind of focused on form factor, compact size, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports, as well as the UCG Ultra, which has been in the channel for some time now. A very popular product, runs the UniFi Network app. That, along with the UniFi Network, UniFi Express device, which also runs the UniFi Network app with integrated Wi-Fi 6 AP. Um, I'll talk on the last slide in the webinar today about where you can go to figure out which of these devices is going to be best for your sites. It's called the UniFi Calculator, calculator.ui.com, but stay tuned for that in just a minute. So just to kind of recap, for all of your sites, we have a product, we have a solution for you. The UniFi Site Manager, it's license-free, a hybrid architecture, whether you're doing software installations or you're looking for all the power of UniFi to manage any number of devices in your customer site. Well, that's what you have here is the UniFi Cloud Gateways and our consoles. The UniFi Identity software as well is very important in making sure that you have your employees with all the permissions to all different devices on their network that they can use. And I'm very happy to share with you guys that UniFi is the all-in-one end-to-end IT solution. So when we talk about these cloud gateways, what they're capable of, you understand that the all-in-one end-to-end IT solution is really defined by this product that we've had since 2019. The switches, APs, cameras we make, our door access devices, these can all be easily managed from our consoles. Consoles refers to cloud gateways, NVRs, but for a specific firewall device that is going to do just about everything in your network, you need these cloud gateways. UniFi eliminates the traditional IT pain points, and many people come to UniFi and discover us through, looking for a solution that is license free or allows you to do many proactive things like intelligent alerts, detail analytics, just a simple, easy to use interface. Um, and a lot of people they discover us through these simple needs, and so I would say that while we're an R&D manufacturer first, and most of our workforce are R&D, software, hardware people. We do spend a significant amount of time with our design teams to come up with just a very thoughtful experience. And building around those software experiences, we bring you the most advanced functionality. We're constantly giving new updates out there, so you'll have to definitely make sure that you're subscribed on the releases page to all those products and platforms that interest you most. And scalability is super important as we go further into our enterprise product line. You're going to see more products later this year with the enterprise name in the product. So whether you're managing 10,000 devices or 10,000 individual users on a site, we have products that will allow you to do that and at scale. So just to wrap up here, at our UniFi World conferences we've been doing in the last year, we have UniFi is value cube. That's how we kind of posit quality hardware, innovative software, license-free cloud management. UniFi is all about all these things, combining this experience and bringing you the best polished solution out there today. So I want to spend just a little bit of time here going over, before we do our Q&A, some of the essential UI resources. And I would encourage everybody here on the call today to bookmark in your browsers all these pages, because they're pages that if you don't have bookmarked or you're not familiar with, at some point in your UniFi experience, whoever you're working with, you're going to have to come to these, and they're going to answer your questions for you. So yeah, to start, the global site manager. Uh, this is actually where I want to start. I'm just going to hop in really quick and show you guys some cool things here. Unifi.ui.com. This is where, again, if you have a UI account, you can manage any number of sites limitlessly without scale. One of the new recent features we added is the ability to create site groups in here. And what I like to do is I create site groups because you can see I have quite a few sites here. It looks like I have just over 150 sites currently, and so it can be kind of a pain to manage all of these. But UniFi Site Manager makes that really easy with the site group and combines some cool features there. So for large enterprises or organizations that are continuing to grow, you can definitely use this to, for example, select a certain group of devices and then push out updates in the update manager to those specific devices. So skipping to that section now, the update manager was something that we recently added to the UniFi Site Manager. What this allows you to do is at scale and massively, and using the categories here, as I mentioned, you can very quickly make sure that all your devices are up to date, schedule updates, um, including updates for your applications as well. And coming back again, for those of you who are not familiar with the UniFi Site Magic feature, this is a really cool feature we've had for about a year now. And what it allows you to do is build site-to-site tunnels instantly in just a few clicks between different devices, different sites. So currently the only requirement is that you're running a cloud gateway. And the reason for that is because it's doing OSPF routing in the background and setting up a WireGuard VPN tunnel between each of these sites. But all of that configuration can be a little tricky and a little messy to do by yourself. And so Site Magic, as the name implies, we're doing this all for you very easily and just making it super simple. So currently it's up to 15 sites. One of them has to have a public IP address. And in our training courses, we actually go through this and we let you, with a partner, work on these activities together. The next feature we recently added into the UniFi Site Manager is the ISP viewer, which is, again, I think the way that people should be looking at Site Manager is it's so much more than just looking at your sites. It's monitoring. It's eventually going to be a place where you come and do mass configurations at scale. But just to reiterate here, this is great for, maybe you're managing a large enterprise and you need to make sure that all of your sites have high uptime availability. I mentioned the update manager already as well. Global admins being able to add people very quickly, as well as the UniFi API version 0.1. So we understand that a lot of enterprises and large customers out there today already have existing platforms and software that they're using. And so what we're doing with this first step is saying, hey, we understand, and we're happy to bring UniFi to your doorstep. Here's our first version of the API, which allows you to do a few things like monitor internet health and performance, active client counts, update availability. So any feedback that you guys have for us here, be sure to use this button. Our developers are very eager to bring the features that you guys most want first there. So just to wrap up with the UniFi Site Manager, like I said, this is a very important piece of the UniFi experience, maybe the most important piece of the UniFi experience when you consider the fact that once you start playing with one site, you're instantly thinking, okay, I need to deploy this at other sites and manage other customers and yeah, this will be getting a lot more features throughout the rest of the year. I can't go into too much detail there, but as long as you guys are subscribed under the releases section, you'll have to just come here to the early access section. Make sure that you're signed up under account.ui.com in order to see access to that section. I believe it's under profile. Just select early access. You're enrolled, and then you'll be able to see these early access sections. So you can see that the UniFi Site Manager is listed here. And we've been pretty active about pushing out updates pretty much every single week there's been an update for the site manager, and these have been some very, very cool updates. Yeah, like we mentioned here, we introduced the control plane and update manager in this update. So definitely make sure you guys are subscribed to this, and you won't be missing out on those latest updates. So to go through a few more UI resources here, I also want to talk about the UniFi Design Center. Uh, Everybody definitely needs to bookmark the Unified Design Center. This is a hugely important resource for planning and designing your projects, but also collaborating with other people on your projects and making sure that, once you've got a um, Wi-Fi coverage pattern built out, you've got your bill of materials ready, you can send it over, download the PDF, and get approval on projects and work with other people on this. We made it really easy with things like drawing cabling, auto cabling. I won't go too much into it here because I think it's better if you guys play with this yourself. Um, the next thing I also want to mention here is the UniFi GPT. This is also built into the design tool, but also on community.ui.com at the top of the page, you're going to see the UniFi GPT resource. I use the UniFi GPT every single day, and it's great for like curating answers. Sometimes rather than just giving a one-word answer, you want to give a more thoughtful answer. I also use the Chat GPT standard for a lot of other things as well. And I think, if people aren't using AI in today's modern work environment, you're falling behind. You can 10x your productivity by using these solutions. And so the Unified GPT really emerged because we've always had a lean team of employees who are constantly trying to give you guys answers, and we really lean on our community. And in order to most effectively give you guys output to questions. The Unified GPT is a resource we've been training. We constantly train so that it is your 24/7 Ubiquiti employee that never sleeps and always gives you answers whenever you need them. So I highly recommend you guys take advantage of that. I believe Leader and some of other distributors are now given the green light to implement the Unified GPT tool directly onto their website. So if you're more comfortable, navigating not UI.com but Leader's webpage, definitely look out for that. I hope that's reaching them pretty soon as well. But yeah, we have so many products, and so if we're able to um, accurately have our product teams teach the Unified GPT and train that as a resource, oh, it's so much better for you guys. You'll always have the answers you need there. I also mentioned the calculator, UniFi calculator for determining, which is the best site console for my site based on the needs of my network. So let's say that I've got a network with, 96 access points. Well, which device would be best for running this solution? And you can see here the Cloud Key Plus, it's actually capped out at 40. We're not letting you do more than that. So this is a great resource. We're constantly updating it. You should see the EFG added there pretty soon as well as some of the other new products that we're coming out with. But yeah, you'll just see compute resources as soon as you enable different applications. This is a great resource just for pre-sales and figuring out which product is going to be best for which scenario. The next thing I really want to bring up is the Wi-Fi calculator. This is really cool, and it's also built into a mobile app that I haven't mentioned yet. It's called the Ubiquiti Portal app. If you guys look for this online, it's available on the App Store, but also on Google Play. And what this UniFi Portal app does is it basically gives you some of those AI features like the Chat GPT, UniFi GPT, excuse me, as well as community. So for those of you who are active on the community and like to post over there or look for answers, it's a native app for the community as well. It also builds in tech specs and data sheets, as well as featuring the Wi-Fi calculator built in there as well. So I'll just give you a quick preview of this Wi-Fi calculator. It's really great for, again, like on a pre-sales basis, trying to figure out, okay, really what kind of coverage should I expect with each AP? And what kind of speed should I also expect based on what my customer device is. Say I've got a Wi-Fi 5 phone on a U6 enterprise AP, okay? And at a given distance with, you know, channel usage at, 50%, you can really play around with this and not only get a good estimate of what your maximum real world conditions are going to be, but also kind of teach yourself about some of the concepts of Wi-Fi, which can be a little bit more tricky. Understanding, these features and how they all contribute to the overall capacity and signal of your wireless networks. I mentioned briefly in the Ubiquiti portal mobile app that the TechSpecs site is natively built in. TechSpecs is a great place for you to come and quickly compare side by side any number of devices. So if you want to, for example, find the best switch that will support your particular PoE requirements, you can really quickly come here and find that and mix and match devices as well. Um, the help.ui.com center, this is an amazing resource. We've also just built in the UniFi GPT as well. But basically, this is where you're going to come to find curated articles, handwritten by product managers, support teams. We're all collaborating together, including the training team, to come up with high level articles, also detailed how to's to help you through a lot of the configuration. Obviously, where we see shortcuts in the software and can eliminate some of the head scratching and work that you have to do, we try to do that as much as possible. But for more complex and also like uh, UniFi Identity is a great example. The UniFi Identity free version, which is just built into all of the UniFi consoles and cloud gateways themselves, is pretty easy to wrap your head around. But when you start getting into the UniFi Identity Enterprise, it can do so much more. And there's just a plethora of really helpful articles written here by that product team that you should definitely take a look at when you guys have a chance. If you're trying to familiarize yourself with, identity for multi-site, you've got users going from different site to different site and needing to have permissions that carry across all those sites. That would be a useful time to consider the UniFi Identity Enterprise platform. Obviously, our YouTube channel is great. We're pretty active there as well. And I won't talk much more about that. The community I mentioned as well, definitely for the releases, I gotta hammer this home. It's super important to stay on top of the latest releases, not only for a security standpoint, but especially for the features. Like we've been working our butts off this last year, and really in the last couple of years to bring you guys a huge amount of new features on our gateways and really make the cloud gateways the most attractive product out there. We know there's still a few uh, features and things to do, especially on the site manager side. So we're definitely listening to you guys in the community as well. Highly encourage you guys to all communicate over there with us. Our product teams are active, even if they don't post over there. They're still reading all of your topics. Before we get to the Q&A, also just want to make sure you guys bookmark the downloads section, downloads.ui.com, as well as our newsletters section. We have had a ton of new products launched this year. We still have 4 months to go, and there's a lot more products to still get out there. If you guys are subscribed to the newsletters, you'll find out with everybody else. And the final thing here, the free mobile apps that we make, we're all about empowering you guys, being able to do really cool things with all of your sites from anywhere in the world, just from the palm of your hand. And we make some amazing mobile apps. The last one, just to mention, it goes without saying, UI.com. This is a great resource if you're ever trying to, talk to C-level people who are maybe not familiar with UniFi. This kind of tells the story of UniFi here. You start with the cloud gateways, go into switching, Wi-Fi, but really this is a platform that does something for every business through, integrating door access, camera security, EV charging, digital signage, and now with premium audio. with those latest UniFi power amplifiers that we audio amplifiers that we just launched, as well as accessories. You can find out just about all of our core platforms and services here on the UI.com website.